Hi, I'm Sally Cannon, and today in my kitchen we're going to be cooking do-it-yourself yum cha. That's right, yum cha at home. Don't be afraid, it might sound a bit daunting, but I'm going to show you just how simple it can be to do. But before we get started, I really want to get to 100 subscribers for my YouTube channel. So if you haven't already, please click on the subscribe button down there in the bottom right corner. It's free to do. You might have to sign up for a Google account, I'm not quite sure, and if your name's Fiona Davidson, you need to re-request your password and then you'll be set to go. So please, that would be fantastic. Now, our two simple rules for cooking: wash your hands, which I've already done, and secondly, maintaining our fluids. Now, we've got a big production crew today. We've got my sister, cameraman, editor, wardrobe, hair, makeup, does everything, and she's assisted today by Mum. So I've had to call in the big guns. We're going to crack open this Dominique Porte Fontaine Rosé. We were introduced to the Dominique Porte vineyard in the Yarra Valley by our good friend Simon the Likeable. So Simon, we've been waiting for a special occasion to have this, and we think today, cooking yum cha at home for family and friends, there could be no better occasion. So bear with me while I crack this baby open. I might have to hand it over to my production person. I can't do it. I knew it was going to be hard. So while Jane's getting to that, here we've got the three glasses. We've got Mama Bear, Sister Bear and Baby Bear. Thank you, Jane. So just bear with me while I hydrate the crew. Jane, can you give that to Mum, please? Thank you. So like I said, Dominique Porte in the Yarra Valley. If you're in the area or you're looking for a day out, definitely put that on your list to do. There we go. Thank you. Cheers. Beautiful. Thank you. Alright, I'll just move this baby out of the way. Okay, so as you can see in front of me, I've got quite a bit happening here. And firstly, what I want to say is all of the ingredients I have been able to get from the Food Works in Apollo Bay and IGA. So you don't have to go to, out of town to any Asian grocers or anything like that. Everything I'm using today, I got here in Apollo Bay. Secondly, what I'm going to do, something a bit different, I'm going to be using the main four ingredients are minced pork, spring onion, water chestnuts, and ginger. So, but they're basically what I'm going to be using to make the yum cha. And I'm going to be doing four things today. We're going to be doing a hot spring roll, a dim sim, a pork and shiitake mushroom ball, and a sesame pork bread, which is a little bit like a sesame prawn, but we're going to be using pork instead. So basically the same ingredients, just presented with a few other bits and pieces and cooked in a few different ways. So like I said, minced pork. So what we'll do, we'll get started with the pork and shiitake mushroom balls. I am going to put a glove on, and what I've done, I've pretty much prepared everything, so you don't have to waste any time watching me chop and prep, but I'll talk you through it as I go along. So a bit of minced pork into your bowl. Now water chestnuts come in a can if you're not familiar with them, and they are, like I said, they're in every supermarket. And you just blitz them in your food processor or your Thermomix. So put in a few of those. Spring onion, which I've finely chopped. A bit of spring onion. And ginger. Remember my tip for ginger? I've just pulled this out of the freezer. So you don't even have to peel it. You just grate the first little bit off and then just grate away. And that'll grate straight into there. Enough. And some shiitake mushrooms. You can buy these fresh or dried. I prefer to use the fresh because they're just quicker. The dried ones you have to soak for a little bit. So pour a few of them in there, like so. And I'm going to pop a bit of chilli, a bit of chopped chilli in with these ones as well, just for a bit of extra zing. Mix it around. Like so. And then you just roll them into a ball. Might just pop a little bit of egg in to bind it a little bit. Just a little bit of egg, not a whole egg. And if you want to be really really good. You can smash it in there and it smashes a bit of the air out and it helps it stay together as well. We haven't probably got time for too much smashing today. So all you do is roll it into a ball. And that is basically it. We're going to cook everything a little bit later, so I'm going to prepare everything and then we'll cook it all at once. So that is the pork and shiitake mushroom ball. If you like, you can soak some glutinous rice, which you can get at an Asian grocer, and then dip them into some glutinous rice before you steam them. I'm not bothering with that today, we're just going to do it like that. So we'll get back to that a bit later on. The next thing we're going to make is some dim sims. So once again, pork, some water chestnut, some spring onion, some ginger, and over there, some finely chopped Chinese cabbage, and Bernard Comerford's favourite spice, and I do agree, white pepper. Most underutilised spice going around, so I'll work a fair bit of that in. And once again, mix this around. White pepper's going up my nose. I'm trying not to sneeze. Okay, obviously I'm probably doing a bit of a rough mix here. Now, wonton papers, skins, excuse me. Better have a drink, try and wash that down. Wonton skins, you can get these. I got these at Foodworks in Apollo Bay. They're in the fridge section near the pastas in the fridge there. And all you do, get a little bit of water. I like just to moisten it a bit, like so, and a little bit, pop it in the middle of the wonton skin. Don't be too precious. I just roll it up like this, and it's kind of like a mini dim sum, and it's open at the top, like that. Just do one more. Water, the filling. Obviously these are dim sum Sally style. They'll be okay. There we go. Alright, so there's two things so far. We'll get back to that. The third thing we're going to make today is a spring roll, which will be a hot spring roll, fried spring roll. So once again, a big bowl for this. Some pork. Actually, I normally cook the pork for this, don't I? Alright, hang on, I'm just going to pop this on to cook and then we'll get back to that. Forgot about that. So we'll do the sesame pork one now. I'll quickly just put some pork on to cook. I just find with your hot spring rolls, I always prefer to cook the pork or chicken or whatever it is that you're using first. So I'll just pop a bit of that in the fry pan. Okay, so we're doing the sesame pork. So once again, pork, water chestnuts, bit of ginger. And while we're using mostly the same ingredients, by just adding a few bits and pieces that are a bit different and cooking them different ways, they do obviously not all taste the same. Now, for this, you also need bread. Now, I did say I got all of the ingredients at the supermarkets, apart from the bread, which I got from our local bakery, the Apollo Bay Bakery. Always important to support your local baker if there is one close by. So, I'm sure you can see me here. Can you see that, Jay?
Yes.
I've got some white bread. I'm just going to cut off the crusts. And to be perfectly honest, I've only ever really made this once before, and I'm pretty sure it worked. I do it all the time with prawn, and it works beautifully. I've only ever done it this way once, so I'm sure it'll work. So mix all that up. And you can add some mushroom, you can add anything to it if you like, all the other bits and pieces, but I'm just keeping this fairly plain. Get your bread. And all I've got here is some sesame seeds. Dip the bread in the egg, one side, stick a bit of the mix to it, like so, and then into the sesame seeds. And that's basically it. I'll just do another one. Into the egg, stick on some of the mix. So like I said, it's pretty much like a sesame prawn, but the part of the prawn is being paid by the hook. Into the sesame seeds, and there we go. Alright, now I'll just put that off to the side. Now I'll just get my tool, remember, from the Brussels sprout salad. I can't remember what it's called, but it's really good for mashing up your mix. While that's cooking away, I'm going to show you how to prepare the vermicelli noodles. I like to cook vermicelli noodles in my hot spring rolls only because it sort of bulks it out a bit and you can get a bit more. So vermicelli noodles, possibly the easiest thing to cook. You buy them anywhere, they're available everywhere. You just put them in a bowl. You can actually cook these blindfolded with one hand tied behind your back. It's so simple. You just boil your kettle, we'll just pretend that's boiled, which it was a minute ago, and pour boiling water over the noodles and let them sit there in there for about 5 or 10 minutes. And then what happens is you drain them, and that's what you're left with. And these you can use for a whole raft of things in Asian cooking. So that is how easy it is to prepare vermicelli noodles. Now, I'm running out of bowls. Hang on. So getting back to our spring rolls. They're cooked. So what we will do, we'll get everything else ready. Naturally, once again. So basically I've made 4 things using the same ingredients. Minced pork, spring onions, water chestnuts, and ginger. Once again, frozen ginger. Don't even bother peeling it, just grate it with your microplane. It will change your life. There we go. Into this as well, I'm putting bamboo shoots, which you can also get at your supermarket. I've blitzed them in the Thermomix. You can use your food processor, same thing. So, and with the water chestnuts, don't blitz them into a paste because you still want to have them, but they're the sort of what give you the crunch. The water chestnuts you can be a bit more blitzy with and get them like that. So that's that. Then some coriander, fresh coriander. The Donald Trump of herbs, people either love it or hate it. Fortunately, in this house, we all love it, so it goes in. That's not to say we love curry. Okay. The pork is now pretty much cooked. There we go. That can go in. Well, I'm going to put some ketchup mayonnaise, some sweet soy, and you can put this in all the other stuff too, but I'm just putting it in here now.
How much was that?
That was a tablespoon. and a bit of sweet chilli sauce. And that's about half a tablespoon. Okay, I'll get rid of some of these bowls. And then, like I said, some of the vermicelli, actually I'll mix that up. Mum needs refilling. I'll just pop some vermicelli noodles in there as well. Mix that around. I might just cut them a bit because they mix up a bit better if they're cut. Spring roll wrappers, which I got from the freezer section at the supermarket today. Naturally, you need to let them thaw out, which they have been doing, and just slice it open. Grab one of your wrappers. Down there like that. A handful of the mix, probably not too much of the noodles, a bit of the noodle and a bit of the meat. Put it towards the top of one of the corners, not so much in the middle. And then you just get your pastry brush and a bit of water, and around the outsides of the wrapper, and just flick that over. You be fairly firm with it, tuck it in at the sides, and roll like that. And there's your spring roll. We'll just do one more. So you get the wrapper. This is where fingernails are handy. My producer is trying to get my attention. Yes, Jane?
We can't see the plate, but that's
Oh,
okay.
no, that's all right. I'll bring the plate over in a minute. If we had another cameraman, if we had a bigger budget for this show, and don't worry, I will show you all the cooked things at the end of this too. Had a few emails saying, can I please start showing the finished dishes? So yes, we'll get into it. So once again, fold it over there like that. Roll it over, sides in, there we go. Okay, so hang on a minute. What I'm going to do is get everything that I've made. So here is basically the yum cha before we've cooked it. We've got our pork and shiitake mushroom ball, our pork dim sim, our sesame pork, and our pork spring roll. So talk amongst yourselves, and we're going to get everything ready, and I'm going to show you how to cook it all. Welcome back to the stove at my kitchen here with Sally Cannon. A great expense to the production company. We've relocated the camera just so we can show you how to cook the DIY yum cha feast that we have prepared. So, firstly, we are going to do the pork and shiitake mushroom balls. We're going to steam them in our bamboo steamer. If you haven't got one of these, they're available just about everywhere. And my tip for you is just spray it with a bit of olive oil spray, just so the food doesn't stick to it. So I'll just pop the balls in there like so. I've just got a wok with some boiling water in it. Pop that on there, put the lid on, probably for about 10 minutes maybe. There you go. The next thing we're going to do the dim sims. So you need a bit of oil. I'll get that out of the way. Oops. Just a heavy based fry pan with a lid. Pop a little bit of oil in, not a lot. And preheat the pan obviously, and just swirl that around like so. I'll just turn that up a little bit. We'll come back to that one. They'll start to sizzle a bit, and then what we're going to do is pour a bit of water in and steam them. But while that's just getting a little bit more heat into it, we'll go over to the deep fryer. Now, if you haven't got yourself a deep fryer, I suggest you go out and buy one. And this Tefal deep fryer is fantastic. What it does, when you're finished and the oil's cooled down, you drain it into this chamber below, and all of the impurities stay in the deep fryer itself, and you can clean it, and you've got lovely clean oil. So you probably get a few more uses out of your oil than you normally would. Deep frying, fabulously healthy way to cook. When you first get one, you'll deep fry everything, even soup. So, what we're going to do, we've got the spring rolls, just going to pop them in. Like so. And the sesame pork, I'm hoping this works. Seed side down, pop them in too. Now cross your fingers, they work. Maintain your fluids while all this cooking's happening. It's sounding like the real fair dinkum, which is great. Now we'll get back to these dim sims. So they've got a nice little bottom on them. This is a little bit like doing your pot stickers, but just a different way. So now there's a fair bit of heat in here. We're going to get your lid ready, pop some water in, and that'll steam up, and they'll steam away just beautifully. So we've got the pork and shiitake mushroom balls steaming away lovely, the dim sims and the deep frying. Now while that's all cooking, I just want to introduce you to something else. I did say I got all of the ingredients today from the supermarkets in Apollo Bay and the Apollo Bay Bakery. There's one ingredient that you cannot get in Apollo Bay, but if ever you're in Melbourne at an Asian grocer and you see this on the shelf, Kim V Wong, it is the Grange Hermitage of soya sauce. Buy as much as you can, it is absolutely delicious. I get this at a supermarket in Barclay Street, Footscray, called KFL or FKL, so there you go. So we're just getting our dipping sauces ready for the feast. We've got obviously some sweet chilli sauce, and you can use whatever sauces you like. I'm just going basic tonight, and pop a little bit of the Kim V Wong in there. And when I say yum cha, I know yum cha normally has a dessert in it. You'll start to realise most of my cooking, I don't do a lot of dessert. So I'm a savoury girl, so I do like to do savoury. Now these things over here, frying away, cross your fingers, I'm about to turn the pork, sesame pork, beautiful. Hang on, they're not staying where they should. You've obviously got to hold them. Gravity wants to take hold there, but we'll just hang on to it for a second. Alright, note to self, maybe put them in bottom first. And just turn those spring rolls like so. Anyway, they'll be fine. We'll check the dim sims, steaming along beautifully. The pork and shiitake mushroom balls, fantastic. That's our production assistant there, Yogurt Keith, just got a little something to say. And our good friend Milo's chiming in as well. Alright, I think we're about ready to dish this feast up. Pull your, just drain those a bit, and obviously have your absorbent paper ready to go. As you remember, we've pre-cooked the pork in the spring roll, so we don't have to worry about that being cooked. And I'll just turn these off. So, the pork and shiitake mushroom. Okay. How's that, Jane? Up, down, up.
Up.
Up? Okay. So, a do-it-yourself yum cha feast in the comfort of your own home. Pork spring rolls, shiitake pork and mushroom balls, pork and cabbage dim sims, and sesame pork breads. Served with the Grange Hermitage of soy sauce, your Kim V. Wong, and a glass of the Dominique Porte Rosé from the Yarra Valley. Hope you have fun cooking, enjoy eating, and thank you for watching.